Well, I've got these lovely palm trees and I just cut it down. There's the stem. Here it is lying on the ground. Here is a chunk of it. And what I'm going to do now is try and turn this into a planter. So let's see how long that takes. I'm hoping to just get by with using my knife. Well, I'm thinking that might be good enough to plant a plant in. Maybe it just needs a few watering holes. And I think this will look very nice on my windowsill. So let's drill a watering hole and then plant some mint or something in here. Well, I'm going to use a masonry bit to drill watering holes into the stump. So I only have to go about that deep to go through. The stem is quite soft. There we have our 3 watering holes. 1, 2, 3 have gone right through. And let's plant her up. So we have an old pot. Now let's wet that. I have these mint plants that have survived the winter. And here's quite a long runner. See, it goes all the way there. So that should be very nice on our windowsill. So I took a worthless piece of old palm tree stump that I had a whole lot of palm trees that I had to cut down. They were just occupying space, and turned them into absolutely beautiful, the colors and textures of that palm planter. And I think it took me all of 10-15 minutes to make. So the moral of the story is just repurpose all that old junk that you think is worthless lying around. And lesson for all of us. We may think we're worthless, but all we need is repurposing. Everything can be repurposed, and it can be turned into something beautiful and useful. And I find this around the house. There's tons of old stuff that's been lying around for decades doing nothing. And all one needs is the imagination and a little bit of work to turn it into something really gorgeous. So that applies to all of us, you know. Even at my age of nearly 70, there's so many things that one can still do that one hasn't even thought of doing. It's just a matter of finding purpose for what you think is old and worthless. So I was about to post the video when I thought, wow, the thing I like about this planter is how thick the insulation is and how cool it must keep the plant soil. Plants hate warm soil. So I filled another pot, a normal plastic type of pot, and I thought what I'm going to do is stick a thermometer in the middle of each of the pots after both have stood in the sun for a couple of hours, about 3 hours, and let's measure the difference in temperature between this one with a thick wall and this one with a thin wall. And both have been standing in the sun for about 3 hours. So I set up my computer with this little waterproof thermometer attached to an Arduino Uno. It's needed a pull-up resistor. Here is the wire. So we're going to take a pencil and we're going to poke it in the middle. So here is our pencil. We're going to poke it in the middle of the planter for both of them, and we're going to push it down to that far. We're going to do the same for this planter, and let's measure the temperature in each. So I'm placing the thermometer down till where it stops. I'm going to just close up the hole, close that hole for the moment, and let's leave it to acclimatize to the temperature for a few minutes, and let's see what the temperature is for both of them. So if I look, the temperature is for the planter with a thick wall, my palm planter is 26.19 degrees. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom just over there, 26.19. It's not 26.25, 26 and a quarter. So the temperature is 26.31. It's just not really changing much. So that is the one with a thick wall. 26.37. Sorry, yeah, 31. 26.31. Right, let's swap it over and read the one. So the temperature has reached 27.9 or 28. It's touched a few times. So that's a few degrees higher than in our planter. So again, 27.94 at the moment. Just once again proving that having that thick wall is going to greatly improve the planter. So I went to the site lastminuteengineers.com DS18B20. That is the name of this little temperature sensor. I copied their circuit. Here's the Arduino Uno. It says wiring a DS18B20 temperature sensor to Arduino. It's a one-wire data bus sensor. It gave me the program, which I just copied and pasted. There it is, into the Arduino Uno program. Let me go to the Arduino Uno program. Here it is copied and pasted, and here it's just reading it. I've pulled it out of the pot. Here it's reading just the room temperature at the moment, which is actually 21. I can see that from the thermometer on the wall. So it just proves that having our thick wall pot should be great for the roots of the plant and should put them under far less stress, lead to less evaporation. We'll have to wait a while and see how well our mint plant transplanted, but it seems I'm really satisfied that it's better than a normal pot.